My name's Alyssa. I'm moving out of JP in 2 days, but I don't work. I just graduated from college about a week ago, and I'm going to be moving to New York.
I'm Andrew. I live in JP now, a couple of months. I'm a bike courier. I kind of bounce between that and doing auto body work.
Photography is important to me, and I'm really involved in that.
I'm really into music.
First of all, the rent is so much cheaper than living in Boston proper, and a lot of my friends lived out here, and I wanted to be close to people, and I don't know, it was like fun coming out here and going to parties and running around, you know.
Yeah, there's tons of shit I like about Jamaica Plain.
I like JP. I mean, if I was going to continue living in Boston, I would definitely keep living here.
There were some kids that were probably freshmen in high school, I would guess, and they just stopped me on the bike path, and they had a knife, and I didn't, and they took my things. I gotta confess, it kind of shook me on the JP thing, but I've lived in bad places before, and nothing bad's ever happened to me before, so I guess everybody's due for theirs at some point, and probably the only thing that I really regret is that I don't feel like I'm as free to daydream anymore.
It depends on the circumstance. I get, you know, sometimes everyone pisses me off. But
I don't know. I don't like people that don't think about anything, and it just seems like there's so many of them out there. It really scares me a lot of times.
I was in the cab the other day, and the cabbie was like going off, you know, these two women were in the car and they were making out, and like he was just kind of going off about how like fucked up it was or something.
I worked in an auto body shop for the last year, and I've noticed one thing that seems to be very characteristic of people in the trade is faggot and nigger are the dominating words. They will use them with abandon, and they're into it. And when I show up and I go, I live in JP, I have a gay roommate.
I just remembered after 9/11, people had, like, there's so much American flags everywhere, and I swear to God, every time I'm on the highway and there's like a car that's driving like a complete asshole, there's always like a 9/11 don't forget or American flag sticker on it. No matter what, there's never not been that.
The right-wingers needed something to get people fired up, I think, and when I heard about 9/11, I was living in California, I was making minimum wage, and I thought, the Twin Towers, where the fuck are they? I had no idea what city, what state they were in. I thought, oh, that's a bummer, man.
You know, people don't give a shit when 2,000 people die outside of the US, and like, people that live in the US only care when it involves them specifically.
Yes, I am a patriot.
I don't think so.
I say that because of the fact that I know a lot of very unique personalities that have evolved in the US that I don't think could have evolved in other places. Bukowski?
I definitely would not die for my country. I don't think that there's anything I would die for. I value my own life much more than anything else, to be honest. It's selfish, but it's all I have, and I definitely wouldn't die for my country.
If I thought that I could do more for my country by dying for it than I could by living for it, yeah, I would.
There's two types of people. There's fight or flight, you know? And that's usually just how people respond to situations, and I think I'm more of a flight person, which I don't want to be. I'd like to, you know, defend you or something, but I know that I probably wouldn't, because I just I'm the person that goes like this and cowers, you know.
I think at that point where it can become so personal, that flight isn't really an option anymore.
One person I love a lot is my mother, and one of the reasons, well, for many reasons I love her, is that she's always let me choose my own path. I remember her saying when I was probably 12 or 13, I was doing tons of drugs and hanging out with these bad people. I started hanging out with this person that was, this boy that was not a bad person. And his mother called and said, you know, I was over there too much, and could she please, like, keep me from there? And she was like, no, you know, she let me sort out my own things.
I think my brother Carl, for me, is huge. He's been, in much the same way, really supportive of me from the time that my parents broke up when I was 11 and he was already in college. I moved out to the desert, and he would come out with books for me and music for me, and he really didn't want to come to Barstow. I didn't know this till recently. I didn't really put the pieces together, but he showed me some of the greatest ideas that I've ever known. Oh, I love this guy.
I hear people all the time intentionally, definitely, like, not physically, but emotionally, like, all the time. I'm very passive aggressive that way. If I feel hurt by someone, I do things specifically that I will hope hurt them as bad as I felt hurt.
My mom. I think I sort of subconsciously, but later on maybe not so subconsciously, realized that I kind of took out, you know, 15 years of angst on her poor little 60-year-old head in the space of about 2 weeks, and I made her weep, and I felt like kind of a huge piece of shit. Describe American, I can't do it, man.
The word America in itself is a really good description of America, in that if you're talking about the United States, in that, you know, how people call the U.S. America with no regard to, you know, like, idea that it's actually two continents.